Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, no matter what time you're listening to this. Welcome to Breakthrough with Jeff. And before I begin, I'd like to take a few seconds to introduce the topic for today. So today we are talking about strategic leadership. Big word, right? Strategic leadership or strategic thinking is necessary for all of us that are leaders in any capacity. A strategy represents the patterns of choices that are needed to assure your future or to assure the future of the organization. Without these strategic choices, there is no assurance, there's no certainty of the organization. Pick any organization that wants to be here more than 10 years, 20 years, 100 years even, is an organization that thinks strategy. And it's the same thing for when you come down to the level of personal life. If you want to, be relevant 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, the rest of your life, you got to be strategic and you got to have a strategic vision. So this is not just for you as a leader in your corporate organization. This is for you as a person, because strategic leadership begins with strategic thinking. A strategy is really understanding of the plans that you need to take from point A to point B. What is the plan? You see, most people just exist and you don't know what is the plan. What do you need to move from point A to B? And this is crucial, especially if you are a leader in an organization. Now, being strategic is what we are talking about here. Are you strategic, or do things just get you? Do things just find you? Maybe you've just started a business. Do you know what statistics show about businesses? I coach so many people to start businesses, startups, and I know the statistics shows that most people that begin their businesses, the business ideas die by the first 5 years, like 50%. By the time 10 years are over, 60, 70, you're talking about almost 80% dead. And we're talking about just being in existence. Most of them die, not even making profit, being in existence. Most startups die the first 10 years. Have you asked yourself why? To me, as a strategist, I know it's a lack of strategy. I know that the reason organizations die is because of lack of strategy. Now, so the call here is to be more strategic. And being strategic is to be clear on your objectives. You're clear on your objectives, where you're going, results expected, and the responses, the resources expected, all this, the environment, thinking into the future. You cannot help but think into the future. And organizations, governments, thrive or exist on the quality of their strategy. Because whether you're a business person, political leader, whatever it is, strategy is what will set you apart. Winning elections is about strategy. Understanding the political context of whatever it is that you're running. But also, as a business person, you got to understand strategy and also understand the political context, because it actually affects businesses so much. In Kenya, in my country, businesses die during election because the business owners were not strategic enough. They did not have a foresight, to think into the future, to think into past the election. I wish this was not, the way things are, but it's the truth. That's the way things are. There's a little bit of shaking during this season. And as a strategic leader, you have to think into the future. You have to prepare. We are living in so much uncertainty. Governments are now forcing their, citizens to get a job, which is another deep, they have their own strategies for their own goals. Why not you? Why not have your own strategies and your own goals? Okay. So you're able to anticipate and visualize the future and anticipate things that will come. This is strategic thinking. But when things just find you, like COVID just finds you, many businesses that died, they were just found. There was no strategy for that, for COVID-19. And so it just came and swept everything. The businesses that stand today are strategic businesses. They're businesses that can see into the future, can foresee what will happen and prepare the organization like that. So if you're a leader or you're given an organizational leadership, one of the things that you want that will set you apart and will keep a legacy for you is strategic leadership. The ability to see, to envision the future and prepare for the future. Strategic leadership. Preparing for the future and having that flexibility. If COVID was permanent, how will our business survive? That is strategic thinking, it's strategic leadership. How do we need to strategize ourselves in a way that we can survive anything? Now, for me, I'm a strategist, so I'm always, if you're a manager, you not like me. Because I'm a strategist. I see things that don't exist. I want to see possibilities. And most of the time I'm right. Sometimes I'm not. But hey, I better be, I'll go with what I'm right with. So I anticipate and go for it. But also strategic leadership is about empowering others to see what you're seeing. Because if you're a team leader and you're the only one seeing what you're seeing and no one sees what you're seeing, hello. And by the way, I've seen people that have, let's talk about thought leaders, because those are leaders, and in fact, leaders that I respect. If you're a thought leader, you have an idea you're bringing into the world. Then you have to be strategic and help people see what you're seeing. Because leadership is about influencing other people to see what you're seeing. Because if you're the only one, you can't push it through people's throats. Like right now, we're talking about health and looking into the future of our DNA. Everyone is about, everyone is interested in the economy of DNA, shifting your DNA. And you have to be in control of your own destiny by what you eat, envisioning the future. The currency will be your ability for your body to survive, tough conditions. Will you be there? The only way to be there is to think strategically and begin to make changes on how you're eating, on your spirituality. These are key core strategic moves that you can make right now that will make sure you will still be there as long as God wants you to be here. Don't leave your life to other people's, plans and evil plans. I talk about people, there are two types of people on this planet and two types of governments. There are governments that are planet miners. They are here to be used of evil ways to bring populations to delete people out of the planet. They are selfish, evil people. There are governments and leaders and people that are planet miners. They are food joints that are planet miners. Any food joint that is, making all these fast foods that are bringing cancer and stuff, they know what they are doing. They know, they're not ignorant. They know they have a strategy. And the strategy is to eliminate the population for whatever reasons, selfish reasons, is to bring cancer. And they have the solution for some of these ailments that they bring, and is their business, is their money, is the god of money has taken over. But you see, one credit I give them is they are strategic. People that think about depopulating, they are very strategic. People bringing COVID stuff, they are very strategic. How about you? Why not be strategic about your life? Why not step into the driver's seat of your life and decide where your destiny is going to be about? Make choices on food that, nourishes you. Make those choices. Loving choices that show love to yourself. Strategic leadership is about leading yourself first. Instead of blaming your government, because governments have their own agenda. Religious bodies, they have their own agenda. You got to have your own agenda and lead you. Because if you don't have you, then no one does. But then strategic leadership is not just about seeing it, it's about also helping others to see it the way you see it. That is leadership, because leadership is influence. It's the act of influencing people you're working with, organization, and employ a strategy, systematic strategy of actually reaching the ends of where you see the destiny. It's possible. You'll not be the first one. But when you just sit there and watch, be at the mercy of your government, be at the mercy of other people, let me tell you, people don't think that much about you. You got to learn to think about yourself and your objectives and your destiny and decide, make a decision. A decision means this is the way I'm going to live. Never just trust anyone out there pushing their agendas on you and then you're buying thinking they love you. See, I like the speech example by Hitler, and I hear the story of Hitler, the way he came to parliament to demonstrate how to take charge of someone. And he came with a cock, a chicken, and plucked its feathers one by one. As it felt the pain, the chicken was crying and feeling the pain, because that's not how you do it. You have to kill it first. Plucked it one by one. Then he left it on the podium, went and sat and threw some maize on the floor, and the chicken came all the way to where Hitler was. And he said he has given his speech. If you want to rule over someone, the first thing is to show them how much they need you, how powerless they are. And you see, for you to overcome all this mess and maze we find ourselves into and be free, you have to awake to the truth of strategic thinking and really have a strategy if you still want to be alive. Forget about even the business. You want to be here the next 10 years, 20 years. And then now you go to your business. When you talk about strategic leadership, there are things that are crucial if you want to transform your life or your organization. Number one, the vision. The vision and the values. What are your vision and what are your values? See, so you got to be a person of a vision. A strategic leader is visionary. You got to see what others are not seeing. That's why you cannot overeat all the time. You're overeating. Your brain is going to digesting food 24/7. There's no time to think. Strategic leadership is about thinking, vision, and values. What are your values? What are your core values that make your business, that simmer through your business, that you like to live as a legacy? What are those values you can live for? What are the values? And then the vision. What do you see into the future? What do you see? If you're in an organization, something else you consider is the culture and the climate. If you want to be strategic, some cultures will not even allow you to grow. It will not allow you to realize the vision that you have. And so in your vision, one of the things that you must shift in your organization is your culture. Because that culture will not give birth to the opposite vision. Vision must, underline, must be aligned to culture and vice versa. Culture is crucial. Values, vision. There are also systems and structure that is crucial to really making your organization strategic organization. Strategic leadership has got that sense of strategy. So in aligning all these things, vision, culture, and structure, strategy, values, sense of understanding the climate, you actually step into becoming a strategic leader. And strategic leadership begins with you. Okay? It's not just management. You see, management is like sustaining. It's like you're sustaining life. But strategic leadership is different from management. And I know we have great managers, people that are given things that were given birth to sustain. That's not what I'm talking about here. It's totally different thing. A strategy is things totally different from a manager. A strategist is about change. And no matter how costly it is, in fact, it's more costly for things to remain the same for a strategist. For a manager, they are holding on to that sense of certainty. It's about certainty and it's about just holding on to what they know. So you got to be strategic in your thinking. And I'll do another video about strategic thinking. Today we are talking about strategic leadership and how you can be a strategic leader and allow yourself to lead from a place of vision, values, understanding the culture and the best culture that really can help bring the vision to fruition, can birth the vision. Okay? And so understand the scope of strategic leadership and how you can begin to think strategically to see the future and ask God to help you to look into the future so that you're not always caught unawares by stuff. So you have to be future focused. You have to be future focused. You have to learn to negotiate and look into the future. Look at the challenges not with fear, but with strategies that can get you in the best way possible. And so there's a sense of planning in strategic leadership where you can plan for the organization short term, you can plan long term, have a long term focus on planning. And you see, when I was starting this recording, this video, I said that this is not just for the organizational level. It's also for you on a personal level. As you step into an organization and people love you and people like you, don't think you'll be there forever. You need to be strategic. Plan your exit before, even as you start. Mentor people, position people. Create the results that you want to leave as a legacy. By what date? So you have to be future oriented, future focused, change oriented. It's okay to change. And of course, you will get resistance when it comes to change. If you're this kind of a thinker, you will get resistance. But hey, without change, there's no impact. And if you're a strategic leader, if you're a strategist, you feel so uncomfortable by having things running the same way yesterday, today, and forever. Okay? And so you need to learn to tap. When I work with CEOs and executives, I want to bring them to a place where they can understand their mission, to understand themselves, but also understand how they can they can think strategically and how they can be strategic leaders. So you have to discover the key things that your organization needs if you're a strategic leader. Maybe you are a new person, you've just checked in, and the first thing is to understand, what does this organization need? What do I need? Not everything that is good you want to practice. Not everything that is good, is fit. So you have to discover what is it that the organization needs. And it's the same thing on a personal level. What do I need? What do I want? We always begin there in a place of change. What do I need? Okay. So you have to understand the organization. You have to understand yourself. If you're a coach that is perhaps starting your business, you have to understand, what is this about? What is the pain? What is the problem that I'm curing? What's the problem that I am actually helping people in? And who is my ideal client? And what really hurts them that much? And make sure you're meeting that need. So you have to drive the strategy from the beginning of understanding the person and then bringing about the results that they are looking for. And so you have to create the habit of thinking strategically, which is, and this is what coaching is about, thinking about, where am I and where are we going? Where are we and where are we going? Where are we and where are we going? That is strategic. Strategic leadership requires that clear understanding of where we are, who are our competitors, who can we learn from, who can coach me. That is strategic leadership. You can't just watch your life and you're past 30 Just watch your life be washed away, and you tell yourself stories that there is no, I've done everything. Really? Be strategic. You begin to think strategically. You will see the need for a coach in your circle, in your life. You realize the need of a coach. I did. So where are we? How can we get there? You're ready to learn how to get there. And how can we get there with the least amount of resources or casualties? Okay. Do not be afraid of how, and do not be afraid of the loss if you're going to lose something. Sometimes we think it's a loss, but it's a gain. Yeah. So you're the one as a leader to create the journey on a personal level, on organizational level, because strategy works for both. So you have to see the line. This is where we are. These are the challenges. This is where we are going. These are the obstacles. And these are the strategies we use. These are our competitors. This is what they are doing. This is what we shall do. This is what we are doing. Okay? So it's called strategy. And the difference maker in life and business is strategy. What strategy do you have? When you're strategic, you also want to be honest and authentic with yourself and check your progress. Time after time, go back to the script, to the strategic path, or what we call strategic plan. Check your progress. Be honest with yourself. What's not working, don't just hold it because it was your idea. You can let it go. Let it go. Let it die. So strategic leadership requires that continuous assessment, honest assessment of the effectiveness of the plan. If it's not working, be ready no matter how much you've spent. Because it's going to cost you more to hold on to something that's not working. See, some of us, we just want to hold on to it because it was our idea. It's called pride, ego, ego, edging God out, ego. It's ego. Let it go. If something is not working, let it go. So look at the parameters. See, is it working? Do the assessment. If it's not working, let it go. And so you are training yourself to be a strategist in assessing where you are, where do you need to go, do assessment of the journey, check your progress, let go what's not working as fast as possible. Let it go. This takes three things. Number one, strategic thinking. Number two, strategic acting. Number three, strategic influencing. So you're acting strategically. You're not just acting, without wisdom. You have to be strategic in the way you act as a leader in your organization. There are people that will rub you the wrong way, but if you're not strategic, letting them go will cost you big time. Letting someone go the wrong time can cost you. Keeping someone longer will cost you a lot. Strategic actions or strategic acting, then strategic thinking. You're always looking into the future and you're always looking into better. You're not just celebrating the success and feeling like, yes, we've reached. And then strategic influencing means you're not alone. Remember, you are with other people you are leading. And even if it's on a personal level, you're considering this conversation, you're not alone on this planet. And if you have something that helps others, it won't help them until they see it. The reason I have this channel is to help you see what I've been able to see. And you follow through, there's a thread of transformation. And if you make it a goal to go through all the videos and from the beginning to the end, you will get so much value from this process. And so for today, we are looking at strategic leadership and how to be a strategic leader, how to think strategically, and bring change in your organization, the necessary change in your industry. You have to be honest with yourself, assess who are my competitors? What are they doing that I'm not doing? What is the market like? What is the culture like? What am I up against? Lay down, don't just start a business. Don't just start anything. You're just starting because your neighbor started. Understand and assess where you are and where you're going and what's keeping you in that position where you don't want to be. This is the way to be strategic. This is a way to create a strategy from within you. And I believe inside all of us is a strategic leader on a personal and professional level. And you see, when you're not a strategic leader, the world surprises you. Then you get shocked by the world. All the time you're shocked by the world. The happenings, you're like, oh my God, I didn't see that coming. You see, you can't always not see things coming. You want to think strategically. Be aware of this fact that strategic leadership is very important in the success of your organization. Strategic thinking is very important in your own success. The business you operate in right now, strategic leadership is so crucial. It will make it so efficient, because some of the challenges that we have is the lack of strategic leadership. Once we operate from that place, it becomes more efficient. Our work with people, our business becomes more efficient. And you need to understand, you're focusing on the future and focusing on making the organization better and not just celebrate. The organizations we can mention, in our localities, some of them were even 100 years old. By the time we were growing up, right now they are not there. It's called strategy. You see an organization, a few years is dead. Big organizations, media stations, and others that just came from nowhere because there was a good strategy. Now you see they take over. It's strategic thinking, strategic leadership that will take us to the next level. I hope you've gotten something from this, and kindly share it with someone, with a leader, with someone that thinks strategic, with someone that is maybe running for an office that wants to be strategic, someone starting a business, with a pastor starting a church, a business person that launching their business, someone that has an idea. Send them this video so that they know it's more than just the idea. Thank you so much. Stay blessed and God bless.